All right, guys, finish up your rep. All right, guys, thanks for getting in here, moving around, practicing what we've already done earlier this month. Today we're going to continue tacking the back. We're going to attack the turtle position. A lot of what we've been doing is attacking our opponent through the leg drag or top spin. We're just trying to put pressure on our opponent so that they expose their back. Once they expose their back, we're just kind of putting them in an uncomfortable situation to where they choose to go to turtle. And then from the turtle position, we just succeed to taking the back. So I'm going to show you guys how to attack the turtle, and then we'll put it all together. So coach is going to come here. He's going to get in the turtle position. Just make sure we're like right here. Yep. Head's that way. That's fine. So this is the turtle position. Notice that there's a couple different ways that people can get into the turtle position, but the way coach is doing it is correct. He's keeping his hips over his ankles. He's keeping his elbows in tight, and his knees are wider than his elbows, which would be the correct way to do it. This is going to be a lot harder to get inside this turtle. And then his hands are coming up protecting his neck so that my hands can't come in. A lot of times what you'll see people do is they'll start attacking this top front head with their hips back. And what starts to happen to them is they'll start to slide off the top, okay? And then you find yourself on the bottom of the fight, and now you're underneath your opponent, which is where you don't want to be, okay? Another thing that can happen is, that's kind of like the main thing when people are turned up pretty well. So when I find someone who is like really turtled well, like coach is right now, I tend to go to the front headlock just to start to open up stuff and try to get his hands and elbows to come away from his knees. So if I find my opponent with these nice tight elbows, notice like where I put my hands. I put my hands like right behind his elbows. I like them here. It's my personal preference. I just feel like I know where I want to end up when I have someone in the turtle position. I want to end up here, and my hands behind the elbows become very important to keep me on top. So if this is like my goal when he's all turtled up, then when I'm off to the side, I like to keep my elbows right here. I don't prefer to stick my hands inside, although we do have a gi, which is nice. It's nice to be able to come in here and grab these lapels and keep a hold of him. Like, just make sure you don't leave your elbow in here super tight so that he can wrap the elbow, because now all he has to do is sit out and just go ahead and roll me. Yeah, roll me like you want to. Yep, rolls me. And now I'm on bottom of the fight. He's going to release that. He's going to come on top. And again, I was in the top position, and now I'm fighting from the bottom. Okay. Go back to the center, coach. Right here. Cool. So I like to keep my hands on the elbows, and this will convert well to no-gi. Right. There are times, though, that I will grab the collars, okay? But I will not leave my hands deep inside. I will pull them out and tighten them up around him, okay? My overall goal is to get my knees on both sides of his hips. I like the knees on both sides of the hips because when my opponent decides to roll, so this is funny, like I was thinking about it on the way over here. Like an uneducated person is going to roll right here, but also a really good guy is going to roll right here, which makes no sense, what I just said, but they're both there together. If he doesn't know how to handle this position, he might just roll out of being scared, okay? And if that's the case, all I have to do is make sure that my knee lands on bottom as he rolls over that shoulder right there. Yep. My knee needs to land on the bottom. All right, so my knee comes inside this hole right here. Right? And then you notice that right once we rolled over, what did this leg do? Just came on top. Okay, and I got my one hook in, and then I need to push my knee to the sky. All right, so when I'm pushing this knee to the sky, I'm also pulling him with this underhook. Now, because I had the lapels when I started, this is nice. Like I can give a nice pull. Right? If it's no gi, you're just grabbing up underneath it. Right? So I like to hold onto the lapel here because it gives me this big underhook. Like almost like a, what do you call this? Half Nelson type thing? Quarter Nelson? Yeah, it's like a quarter Nelson. You know, with that rope, especially when I'm tightening off on this side. Feels like a full now, right? Yeah. All right, so I'm going to pull with this leg and point my knee to the sky. My knee has to think about going to the sky right here. And I turn the hip out, and then I can continue to keep lifting his elbow up to enter my foot inside. Cool. And then if I want to, I can discard the grips and stay underneath him and start attacking the back the way that I want to attack him. But the key detail there, or in this concept, is that your knees need to own the floor. Don't let your opponent's hip or back own the floor, okay? So, again, I like my hands on his elbows. Notice my hips are kind of like pushing into his hips right here and pushing off of my feet. I'm trying to make sure he doesn't roll in this position. If I allow him to roll in this position, he's going to Granby roll, and I'm going to end up inside his guard. Okay, notice that my knee came in, elbow to knee connection. This is everything that we learned from that closed guard system back in like January or earlier this year. So I want to keep my weight back on him. My hip is on him, my knee is on his knee, and I'm pulling his hips back so he can't Granby roll, right? Is the correct word?
Shoulder roll.
Shoulder roll, cool. All right, and then I'm going to change to my knees. My chest is coming down a little bit on him, but notice how like far back I am from him. I'm not on his head. If I get to his head, I'll start to slide off. Oh, very simple for me to slide off, okay? So I stay pretty far back on him. Knees are pinching right inside his hips, right on his belt line. All right, so look at my toes. Big toes are down. This is kind of like a little surf position, like you're riding your surfboard. That back foot. Okay, so I did mention like he's either going to roll himself out of panic, or he's going to roll very smart and try to win this bottom hole. All right, so if he rolls and my hand is not here on this elbow, and he replaces his elbow and his hip together as he starts to roll here, my knee is going to be hard to come inside. All right, see, I didn't really own the bottom position, and he's going to make a better roll and be able to fight off me from getting his back, okay? And that's what I meant by like a good a guy that's uneducated is going to roll there, but someone who's really smart is also going to roll there. They're just going to do it correctly.
I would say an uneducated person disconnects their elbow and knee. An educated person rolls to the ball.
In a ball with it connected. Yep, good point. Excellent, Cash. Cool. All right, so we're going to practice just this little transition right here where we're pushing his hips back. I'm trying to put his hips on top of his ankles. That's all I'm thinking about. Putting his hips on top of his ankles. Cool. Then my hands go to his elbows, and then I'll come up here. Okay. And then either he's going to roll or I'm going to force him to roll. Okay, how do I force him to roll? I just kind of start to just dump over this shoulder here. And I want to keep my hand on his elbow as I go. Like, I want to think about getting him to roll over the shoulder and keep this elbow out. All right, and my knee starts to slide right in, and I'm going to use this hand and this foot to help pull him over my knee. My knee right now is going right inside between his elbow and knee. Just went through the hole. Okay. I'm going to pull him all the way up, pointing the knee to the sky. And then he's going to close this off, and I'm not going to like to put my foot in. It's going to be hard. So all you have to do is, look, grab his elbow, pick it above his head, and then you intervene. Okay? All right, we'll start right there. We'll get a couple reps, and then we'll come back and deal with when the person doesn't want to roll, deal with when the elbows are in, the elbows are out, the way that Cash likes to attack the back. That's my favorite way, but Cash has a different way too. All right, ready? 1, 2. Talking about the foot, the dragging the back foot. That's the one that you like. Yes, yep. Where you're attacking that ankle.
Did you use this more in gi or equally in no gi?
Same. I use it about the same. I just manipulate them differently. So in the gi, I'll grab this. That's about it. That'll be the only difference. Is that I'll actually use that gi, yeah. Good. Perfect, man. So you want to insert that top hook faster before you start to roll him over. Yep. So let's go to that knees on both sides real quick. Good. So insert the bottom knee in. Good, as you start to fall. Good, now pause right there. That's what I want, that top foot entry. Yep. And now go ahead and take them the rest of the way. Point that knee to the sky. Nice. There you go. Good. Is that blood? A little bit of blood.
Get your knees on my hips more.
All right.
Even if I roll, your knees are
Yep.
we're just talking about it's important to have the knee pinch before they roll.
Yes.
If they're uneducated, that's what's going to get you in there.
Yes. Yep. Knee pinch super tight. So I feel like you might be a little high. Let it slide down on the thighs a little bit.
I might got big thighs.
Yeah. And then slide that knee in. There you go. Good. 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 Nice. Good. Yeah, that looks. See, he looked a lot. He looks a lot better there.
Was his feet on the floor?
I think he was like that. Yep, he was like that. No feet on the floor. Yep. You want to be like this.
Yeah.
You want to be like this.
Oh, you were got it like this.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. It's gonna be more stable.
I'll take the time. I'm not gonna force it before I move the shoulders.
Okay.
Now, if they're really big, I gotta reverse strength to load them up on my hip.
Was that probably pausing?
Yep. And then he'll immediately feed that over to the other hand. Yep, it's already got a choke going. Good job, coach. All right, guys, finish up the rep.
Take the time. Reason you're on in the shoulders, so you can lift up the elbow. Lift my elbow up that way, and then so you can be on that side.
Oh, yeah.
Push my knee towards the wall. Yeah. That was better.
Cool. Head forward. All right, so when I get on top of my opponent here and I got these underhooks with the collars inside and I'm kind of sitting back, my feet are kind of turned out but on the ground. And I try to roll him and he's not wanting to go with me. He's just wanting to stay here and be solid. All right, yeah, he feels very solid. And I'm kind of moving around like the next thing that I tend to wait for is for him to kind of look up to see where I went. Yep. When I see him do that, my hand comes over and I start to come on top of his head and I look for the front headlock position. All right, and that's just because like the back take from this position and rolling him is pretty high percentage that I'm going to get it. But when I start to try to like force my opponent to roll, it starts to open up things and I can make a mistake. So I just kind of sit here until he gets curious about what I'm doing and where I'm going. And when I see his head come up, I just take my hands and I come to the opposite side. All right, and I look for his chin, like I've already grabbed it. And then I start to turn out. And so my knee's kind of on his thigh right here. And then I walk my foot away and I'm looking for his elbow. Right now my knee is on his elbow and then my hand goes to his elbow. And I keep my weight on him. All right, notice my knees aren't on the mat. I'm on my feet. Okay, and I'll come here. He's going to fight my hands. All right, because he's fighting my hands now, what is going to happen to his elbows? His elbows are going to open up a little bit, right? And they're going to come out. Cool. And then I can come back to this inside, back all the way to this back position with him opened up a little bit more, and I feel like I can roll him a little bit better. Okay, with an opened elbow, like it's not the easiest thing to come over. This spot, it's kind of framed out, but I try to take it a little bit higher and get him to roll. Now, look how far like my knee comes through. Okay, and then I've really got to like get his hips to come over. Because if I fall off here and he does not come with me in this moment, and he pulls back, go ahead, pull back. I'm on bottom. in the guard. So I really have to make sure that when I'm going to roll, he comes on top of me.
And what we're talking about with Jake is compromising their base, like using your knee to force their...
Yes, opened up, for sure. Yep, to help them roll. Excellent. Do you feel that pressure there when this opens up here and this comes inside? Do you feel like that knee's coming, driving in? I'm trying to pull it a little bit.
I feel like you're going that way.
Got you.
I don't feel...
That way. Okay, cool. And then this top leg here is just pinching his hip and trying to pull him on top of me. Like I'm using this leg to like pull him, okay? And then I insert it in and I'll use it the rest of the way. Okay. All right, so just a added detail to switch to the front headlock. A lot of us have good front headlocks, so in the turtle position, it's like you're either back taking or you're front headlocking. Either or, back taking, front headlocking. Why do I choose to take the back? Because he's protecting his neck well. Why do I choose to go to the front headlock? Because his head pops up and he's protecting his back too well. All right, those are the two things that I'm looking for, okay? All right. Some of the bigger guys, like when I go with some big, strong human beings that don't want to be moved around, I will start looking for this top collar and pushing on his head. All right, so what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to push his head down, and then I'm trying to turn him over. So I'm going to grab this backside foot, I'm going to push his head down, and then my knee is looking for like his knee or even his elbow. Right? I just need to keep those things in so I can start to pull him. See how he starts to turn? Now, when big guys get turned, they do not like that. Right? He does not like to be in this position. So he'll fight. Right when his hip hits the mat, he'll fight right back up. You can slide your foot inside. All right? It gives you an opportunity to get your hook in. Once your hook is inside here, you have two choices again. If he comes all the way up, then you can come up with him. Your hook's already in. Okay. You can start to get your hip up high and throw your knee in, and then start to bring him this way. And now I've done the exact same thing. It's the same thing that you did earlier. Is my knee on bottom? Yes. Is my leg on top here? Yes. So all I have to do is point my knee to the sky and pull him on top of me. Okay. And with the gi, I'm always finding that underhook collar, so that I can use that to help pull him, right? And my knee pointing to the sky is what's going to help turn him. It's not me pulling him on top of me. It's my knee pointing to the sky, which turns my hip underneath my opponent and drops him over here. So let's go back. So the two options that I just talked about is I sit back here and wait for him. If he gets curious with his head, my hand comes over, finds his chin, and I use my inside knee thigh right here to be a monitor on his leg and arm, and I try for the front headlock. He starts fighting me with my hands right here, which means my hands can't come together. That means I'm going to switch back to the back. Still can't get him to roll over. He's not turning. I grab his collar right here. All 4 fingers inside. I push his head down with my knuckles. And I'm looking to find his back foot. I slide my knee inside this hole as I start to drop him to the side. Okay. If he stays down, then I'll just insert this foot and continue the same back take. Knees on bottom, point the knee through. If he turns up, I slide my bottom foot through. Okay? When I slide my bottom foot through, you have 2 options again. You can go back to pushing him and pull him back over. And insert your hook in. Let's do that towards the... So, coming here. Here. He sits up. Foot slides in. I have 2 options. Push the head, pull the hook again. I already have my foot hook in. And then look, I just bring that in. Now I got his back and I have his collar here. All right, depending on which way he rolls, depends on how I attack this. Yep, he starts coming that way. I'm looking for the head and arm. There you go. And now I can, because he decided to go on his side, not go flat. I don't head and arm him. I can take his back. If you're good at the head and arm, you flatten him out. Go back up. Good. Get to my foot. I'm on my foot underneath. My leg comes up, and I drive it right inside, and I pull him. Everything's the same. So that technique seems difficult, but it's really just an addition to what you already know, which is if I keep my knees on his hips and I own the ground with my knee, then I use the top leg to pull him as my bottom knee and hips come underneath. Look, that motion. Just a different way to attack with the same exact outcome. Any questions? All right, ready? 1, 2.
You don't like the hand, I'm gonna go for the choke. Fight the hand.
Yes, you can do that too. It's perfect, man. There's nothing wrong with that. I wanted to do it every time. I had to force myself not to.
It's hard for me to get my foot in as a hook this way. Flexibility of
Yep, so pull him over first. Pull him down. Good. When he comes up, there should be your entry point. Still hard though?
No, I got it on the fall.
Okay. Oh, you got it in on the fall? It's funny.
Is these legal in competition?
I believe so. Yeah. I don't see why there wouldn't. As long as
White belt level?
you're not using it to submit him. So if the guy like taps while you're hitting on the neck, then technically you can be disqualified. Can the guy cheap him way out of that? Yes, he can chip his way out of that for sure. It's kind of like that knee reap, right? When the leg comes across and then they just go, ah.
No.
But Jake, like, feel how he attacks your back. Like, he systematically, like, walks up your back. You know what I mean? Like, he's walking on your hips, he's walking on your shoulders, he's collecting everything. Just the odd man out today, huh, Craig? See how you don't have a hold of my head, though?
pulled to the whole other side.
You came all the way to that hip.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah. Let's stay here.
But when I fall over there, I'll fall into your chest.
Think about putting your knee on the outside of my hip.
Same principle as the half knees. You're forcing my chin into my chest. Yes.
Elevate enough to get your knee inside this bone right here. There you go. Now when we roll this way, see how much underneath it? It's good. Now it's there you go.
It's the first time I tried to get It's better to fall with the bottom hook in place. So if you have
So,
if you're here and you don't have a body for it, why not slide this body?
I'm going to now attack this hip.
And have your body. This is more important than this.
okay.
Look at it. Like that.
Oh, you have to take your hip there.
Now watch what my
Open.
knee comes in.
Okay.
Look how much of that knee.
So rolling to the other side is probably ideal. Realistically, do you do it every time because it's a whole other movement? Do I do it every time? Probably not.
Look how silent.
I try to cut the knees down.
Put my foot on the mat.
Now I'm thinking about it. I did here finish with the whole pocket. You pull them into the pocket.
Right?
To have it to fight to scramble, right? But at the end of the day, there's a bunch of stuff to go to get there, so it's not how we
Just know that you get that. Like a push-up on the
Just putting it straight to the
bottom hook, top shoulder, cross shoulder. Bottom hook, cross shoulder. That's what's important. If I have same shoulder, same hip, I have all this side.
Okay.
Can you use a pain grip too?
Yes. It's like Tupperware.
Yeah, so even if you can't,
Here, like at least I'm controlling this side of the body with this, and I'm trying this side. So like, same as earlier, try to like. It's the same principle. Like if I want to control you, I need this. Around here, pull it up. Good. Same principle. No matter where you are on the body.
All right, hey guys, real quick. Just right where you guys are. It's fine, you don't have to roll up. You can get a drink if you want. But like when I'm trying to roll Cash over here, like when I'm pushing his head down, I don't just like push his head to the mat. I'm trying to like put it in his head in his armpit. I'm trying to put his head in the armpit over here, which elongates this section. If I'm trying to grab his foot, the furthest on the lever is the best, but if I can't, I can get just the pant grip, that's fine. Right? When I try to roll him, I'm pushing with that bottom knee. Like I'm pushing that knee, trying to flatten him out, trying to get him on his hip. Right? I want my knee to own this position. Right? If I could, I would just come on top of here and just continue the process. I owned his hips right now. All right, but he turns up. That gives me the moment to slide. Look, I slide my knee up. So I gotta slide my knee up because my foot can't go in right now. I gotta slide my knee up and then slide in. Okay? Now again, if I could, I would just probably throw him back down. I could go right back to turning his head back underneath and putting him back on his hip and inserting this in. Okay? But as he rolls up, I want to be a dynamic fighter. I get to my toes. That's the part that you guys are maybe missing. I need to get to my toes. If I don't get to my toes and I stay flat on my leg, when I try to come over and own this hip here, get back down on your elbows real quick. There you go. When I try to own this hip right now, I'm not really owning the hip very well. And look at the center line, it's right here. I'm on this side of his body. Okay, so if I get to my toes though, right, and now my foot is right on his thigh, look how high I can get my leg now. Now look at me insert it in. He even feels more compromised in this position. I got a good hook in. I'm on his center line. My knee is going in deep. Now all I have to do is hold onto this collar right here as I roll and pull him on top of me. Pull. And then I just continue to pull. Okay? All right, so that minor adjustment when I slide my foot in to not stay back here, but to get on your foot so that you can get way up here with your leg and come over to attack your opponent's hips. When I'm attacking the back, I really just want to keep chest to back connection and control the hips. And if I do that through the whole process, I'm going to win the back. Okay? All right, a couple more reps. Ready? 1, 2.
Two different options. Yeah. When I do this, I have pressure on your hips to stop you from rolling. Because the two escapes from here are either going to be shoulder roll here, shoulder roll.
Yes.
Hips.
Good. Beautiful. And exactly. Start feeding off that collar and start attacking it immediately.
Okay, so that's
Good.
the
The last
number
thing
one
you need to do is make sure that hand, he doesn't roll away from you. So you either got to put your hand behind his head.
The number one
You
wrestling
got to hold on to
escape
that hand so he doesn't roll away on the choke.
basically it comes down to hips or shoulders. Free jiu-jitsu guys, or if you put weight on my shoulders, if you put weight on my hips, my shoulders are open. So me, I'll play with you. Here, if you don't want me to do this, you're gonna start attacking, putting weight on my shoulders. Okay, if you don't want me to shoulder roll, let me show you. I can shoulder roll, right? You want to put weight on my hips. Because my hips are open, right? You're trying to stop that. Right. Alright, so if you don't want me to shoulder roll, this puts weight on your hips and weight on your shoulders.
What happened? Singer? Small, like, little degrees, shoulders separated.
But it's good to know both. So you're not always going to be the bigger guy. You
double under that I have.
It would be very difficult. We would have to go limp with your arms.
Okay.
Lift your hips, try to take it forward. You get double underhooks. Hold tight, keep your underhooks pinched. Elbows like you have them flat forward. And then when your legs are active, it makes it even better. Not even that, just pinch them with your knees, but that's fine. You got it.
Yeah, so see how you're like on his thighs a little bit? Like try to get them right here. Try to get your knees like where they're here, okay? Like see, yeah, like there, yeah. Get your knees in there.
Like think about your knees as hooks are.
That's where you want to
Oh, I got you. Think about your knees. Put that on the ground.
Cash is so strong.
I'm gonna join the 6 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, you're kind of putting me in.
Yeah, look at that. That's beautiful.
Okay.
So he's able to do those things because he's attacking the hips with his knees.
Yeah, I see that.
I feel like you almost gotta pick one. I feel like
Got
it's
you
hard.
on one side. Choose one knee and the hip. Cool. Cool.
Unless maybe you have the flexibility.
Maybe. I don't know. Go ahead, go down. Yeah, like this is a better choice. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. If you're wanting to get that deep inside knee, yeah, I gotta choose one. This is about the best I can do with both.
Like one stronger than
You can. You
I
can.
feel like this is reactionary. Like you could wait and then waiting for them to move and then catch them.
Choose which
The
side
other
you
one,
want.
You're forcing it like you would have to get the shoulder control and kind of funnel them. You can't let them go the other way if you pick the knee on
If
that
you
side.
pick the knee on that side, yeah. Because you want to go to the knee that's coming in, you want to be laying on that. You want that to be on the mat. Correct. All right, so the last one that we're going to do, you get that? Thanks, man. The last one that we're going to do is the one that Cash likes. So if I get this one wrong, because I don't do it too often, he can coach it. When I'm on this back position, like the guy's not moving, and I've tried to roll him, and he's just becoming more stubborn with his elbows. So his elbows kind of flare out, so I can't roll him. All right, so see how that elbow opened up? Like it makes it to where there's a good post right here, and I can't roll him. But what he did is he opened up a spot for my knee to come inside. And so now I can throw my knee in this hole. Okay? And then I'm going to attack behind him and try to isolate this ankle so that I can use it to pull it on top of me and get my foot inside. And now I got my leg inside. And then everything's going to be the same again. Like there's the hole that I want to put my knee inside and start attacking the back and climbing up him and being able to keep my chest on his back here, keeping the underhooks, trying to find a way to turn him. If he's doing this big post right here and I can't get him to turn that way, well then I'm just going to own both double underhooks and I'm going to turn back this way and make sure I roll him on top of me. Now, when I roll this way, this foot is actively like pulling him on top of me. So like you can't just have this leg not do anything. It has to control his top hip. Like, which forces him, like he can't go back that way as easy. Can he still do it? Yeah, he's 200 pounds and I'm 145. Of course he can. But he's good. I'm going to come with him and I'm going to slide that knee back in and then I'm going to roll this way. Okay, and I'm going to continue on attacking him. And I'm going to get the back that I want. And he's just going to be more tired because he had to drag and pull all 145 pounds with him. All right, so let's go head that way. Let's go right here. Thank you. Perfect. Good, so I'm on his back. I'm trying to roll him. I can't do it because he flared his elbow out. And my knee monitors that. Like, I don't have to look and see that elbow. Like, I know if as I push him here, my knee's already sliding down in there, so sometimes it slides in. Right, cool. Like, I don't need to push him anymore. All I have to do now is look, there's a hole right here for my foot to come in. All right, I like to get all the way up to the knee on here and use this to pull him up and pull the knee up. See? And now my foot just came inside. Cool. I can continue rolling him. Look at me adjust with my foot. All right, that's kind of that right there is a big deal. I'm re-squaring his hips up to mine. Let's go back. If I try to continue on fighting here, down on his legs, I'm going to be looking for leg entanglements. I'm going to be looking for, what's that thing called, the electric chair, right? Because I'm way down here. But that's not my game. So I put my foot on the mat and I slide myself up and I'm attacking his hips correctly, the way that I want to start taking his back. Head here again. Good. Look, knee slides right in. Because he doesn't fall. Because he combats me. He wants to stay in turtle. Okay? If I still, he's being super heavy and not allowing his heel and hip to disconnect, he's staying on top of it here, then I'm going to use my bottom knee right here and pushing on his head and pulling on that foot to slide his knee out. See how I slid it out? So my knee is pushing on his knee and getting this disconnection to happen so that I can stick my foot in here. And I'm going to use my leg and pull it all the way tight to his knee. And then I'm going to pick it up, almost like I'm trying to pick his leg up here and slide my foot underneath. Okay? If he still doesn't roll for me, then I can come up on my foot again. This is what we were talking about, Jake. Look, my knee's up. I'm on my toes. And then my knee's coming inside. Cool. I can get this underhook. I try to roll him this way. If his arm is in, I'm going to be able to roll him. And right now, coach's arm's in. So I can start to roll him over this direction. He fights against me, doesn't allow it, and he pushes back. Cool. Like, I'll start to come off this way. And I'm just trying to find a way to get him to roll. So, like, being very, like, aware of what his elbows are doing in this position. Right? Is he going to go that way now? No. But look at what this hand did. Came in. So can I roll him this way easier? Yes. Good. His elbows are wide. Right? Means he can't get rolled either direction. Okay. And that's when my foot can come in. Probably easier to stick it in. Because now he's not rolling at all. Right? His elbows are wide, and I can extend them out, drop them over. Yep. Which way?
What he said about, like, you don't have to look for that. If you use your knees as sensors, there's only two options he has. He's either going to be closed off, not allowing me to get hooks in, or he's going to be based out, not wanting to be tipped over. Those are the only two options he has. So I'm feeling that with my knees. I'm searching, this knee is actively searching for the space to get the hook. If I feel no space, I know he's not based out. So I just slide to the knee and then tip him over. And you guys could restart this whole back take series that we had from here. And then if he doesn't want to get tipped over, the only reaction he has to not get tipped over is to base out. And if he bases out, this space is in for your hooks.
Beautiful.
So just feel with you.
Perfect. Love it. All right, guys, ready? 1, 2. Good. Let's get some reps in. No one's come in for no gi, so we'll just stay in the gi, and we'll just keep running this until we feel like we got it, and then we'll run rounds, all right? head out, man. Cool. Yeah, no worries, man. It's all good.
Hence why he is pulling it over properly.
That's how I forced them. So that's what I mean. My main goal is to get some hooking.
Yeah, I went to that.
And then for Vegas, the goal is to control their hips and control their shoulders. And simplify that. Anyway, I want to control your hip, control your shoulder. Right? Control your hip, control your shoulder. That's the first thing I need to control. Then once I want to force the, remember, this is what for what? Structure, force the structure. So the spine, the hips, the shoulders, and the spine. So the hips and the shoulders allow you to like own the position. And then the spine usually lets you just start making them down. Wherever we're from, think about the same thing if we're in mountains. Hips, ears, legs, getting the underhook, but once you get that cross face, that's what allows you to start winning the war. For the side control, you got hips, shoulder, cross face, so you start like working it. If you just have my hips and shoulders, yeah, you're controlling me, but I'm not moving, but you're not moving. Right. The way you start micro is by forcing their spine to turn. Yeah, whether it's here too, like, yeah, I'm controlling you, but like, you could just wait out here.
Yeah. Yeah, but I gotta go somewhere.
So controlling their spine, if you control their spine, right. Or this thing right here,
This way.
this thing right here, the battle of the bands, wherever there's a bench.
I guess what's
And what are you using at those areas? Mine is.
Yeah. But I see what you're saying.
That's what it was. This is like twisted. Yeah, literally just like right elbow. Like it's never gonna be
this is just for example. Is it going to be hard? The only thing is like it's about all the little spaced out. I can't. What am I for? If like it worked a lot, you did something before we began. Need to me from here, like need to me. Feels here. clicking there. Look at the wall. Got it.
Have you gone with Craig?
Yeah. 20.
Step on his
him flattened out on his back is a good thing. Like this is where my submissions are gonna start coming. Like if he's not gonna push back on me here, then I'm gonna submit him. I'm gonna start going to Americanas, arm locks, triangles, head arms, all the jokes right here, all different things because he decided to stay flat. So he goes flat, good for me. I start trying to choke him. When I start trying to choke him, he's gonna start pushing back into me. Good. That's when I allow him to get to his side. He pushes won't die.
Is the person coming in, is the person who won going down or staying?
He gets rewarded for
tilted.
See ya. Have a good one. Hey, Doc.
I think Jake grabbed by a
I think it's because the
I think I kicked it too. I said,
no, it died actually. It died. That's why. It just happens to be holding on right there. I think we should just leave Destin Shark Tank in the middle of that. Sounds like a tourist attraction.
that's a Shark Tank?
Yeah.
We're gonna hit up some Shark Tank Destin and then go to Uncle Buck's and do some bowling.
Alright, see you guys.
Keep it. Nice job, Cash. Nice job, Cash. Black on black geese, hard to see. You got any questions on anything?
I have not figured out how to keep the back, like if they roll up into turtle or hang on. It's that I hang on too tight that it doesn't off of them. I
Yeah.
haven't figured out how to
Disengage and come on top.
flow with
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, for sure. Think of it this way, like your enemy's getting high ground,
Yeah.
and like you've got to flank them,
Yeah.
you know, or at least not stay in the kill zone
Yeah.
in the bottom position. So, like you gotta, what do you call it when you disengage?
Yeah.
You disengage. You
Break contact.
yeah, you break contact. You peel back, right?
Yeah.
And then you come back at a different angle, different space. If you have an objective that you have to get to, if not, you guys probably just leave, right? Come back later.
It's called an aircraft.
Yeah, we're just gonna get out of here.
I guess in here it'd be like, hold on a second. I have a cat. Can we take care of this thing?
For sure.
And it's usually just as simple as putting my arm down and boosting myself up there.
Yep. Which one of these guys you want?
Get wrecked by the Grandmaster over here.
The wizard. Purple belt's a wizard. He's the grandmaster.
This is call him Gandalf. Gandalf the Black.
Oh, man.
That would be Josh for sure. He's the Dark Wizard. The Dark Lord. Voldemort. It's good work, Dustin. So what you want to be able to do is like put a bunch of those together. Like you beat me, you were ahead of me. Like and then continue it. Like after that sweep happens and you're on top, and I'm
trying to get ahead again, but you just keep ahead of me, just barely ahead of me, you know?
Yeah.
And you put enough of those together, you'll catch me, you know? It's gonna be a beautiful thing.
You want to go flat now? I'm waiting to see where I got space at.
Pick one.
I've hurt my toe reaching to the fridge. That's not cool. Yeah, it works. You don't even got a cool story for it. You're just seriously injured. You can get tops.
It's gotta worse. It's gotta be worse being a team guy though, and something happens that's so dumb. And you get hurt, and it's like I can jump out of airplanes, I can get shot at, blown up, not get hurt, but stub my toe on the coffee table. Puts me out.
Leroy still hasn't fixed. Bring his elbow inside. Look, I didn't get it today.
You got 1 minute?
Too late. Abort mission.
Abort.
The lapel ain't gonna help you now. Hey, Mike. I say that.
Nope. It did not.
It did
You're worrying about the wrong thing.
Did not. I thought if I got the lapel, I could drop the wizard down.
So what do you?
Really not that.
What is the wizard trying to control on me? Okay. Where did you have to?
Defeat the
Did you? Were you actively using that to control the shoulder, or were you just grabbing on the belt?
I was trying to grab the lapel to bring my elbow down with the wizard.
This would help.
They always control the head.
Before I use it. So there's things you can do from an overhook. But I'm not gonna lie. The person on the bottom, especially if they're higher belts, you don't want to do that. The overhook, I mean the underhook is king on ground. When you're standing, it's a little bit more even. But once we get to the ground, like you notice, remember when you got an underhook on me?
Yeah.
I was very adamant about
Okay.
so black belt answer.
Oh, my dad.
Don't let him get there. The underhook is a big thing.
Yeah.
Are there things you can do with the overhook? Yes, I'm not gonna say, but up
Not in
until,
that situation.
up until brown belt,
Yeah.
like even me, like I shouldn't be. I'll say this: the overhook is more reactionary. The underhook is more proactive. You are more proactive to ground.
Yep. And also, your underhook was like probably too late.
I had my shoulder connected to your rib cage.
Yeah, it was.
You were not in the room.
100%. One, at my level, that's not the right answer. But it was not.
Well, that's the indicator that you're not going to be able to whistle. There's no space for you to hold my shoulder if my shoulder's connected to your rib cage. So once you feel that, that would be the answer. If you could catch the overhook before they get that full shoulder to connection and head glued in,
Yeah.
then you could go for it. But once the head is glued in and the shoulder's connected, it's time to start. I'm not going to say you have to, because then it's even